What does this sound stir in you when you hear it? For some, that's the sound of boredom. Time seems to move so slowly. You know, that class that will never end, the meeting that goes on, or when you're young, 7 more sleeps till Christmas. For others, it's rather the opposite reaction that gets stirred inside of us. It's the, oh no, we're running out of time. There's not enough. This is like the time bomb ticking down. There's so much to do. And there are just not enough hours. Time's a wasting. So much to do. Again, for some, time moves too slowly. For others, it's going by much too quickly. But Advent would have us learn to love this sound, or the sight of a clock. Because for the Christians who are fully awake, this Advent sound is the sound of hope. Because Advent is all about time. And Advent teaches us time is pregnant with God. I'll say it again. Maybe we sometimes think it goes too slowly or too quickly, but when we're awake, we can come to know every moment holds God. This weekend, we light our 3rd Advent candle. The Advent wreath is much more than counting down to Christmas. It's a reminder that the Christ who will come at the end of time, who was born among us so many years ago, entered into human time and transformed it. Therefore, for those who are awake, every moment holds God. Even as we await his renewed celebration of his birth, we are to see how this very moment itself holds God. Whatever we're doing, can we be more and more awake to the presence of God in time? Today's scriptures give us 3 people who have come to understand this, who've come to realize whatever, in the midst of their very difficult lives, that God was there then, not just someday. Isaiah, Paul, John the Baptist, each of them suffered great rejection and heartache. Yet today, Isaiah says, I rejoice heartily in the Lord, in my God, the joy of my soul. St. Paul tells us today, rejoice always, in every circumstance. And John the Baptist tries to wake us to the presence of Christ in time. He's like, he's here. Christ is among us in human time. And despite the challenges of their lives, these 3 were known for their vitality, their hope, their joy, their sense of urgency about life. They saw God in human time. And how about us? You know, if there were an app for our phone that could somehow tell how often we were actually awake to the present moment during a day, I think sadly it would most often find us thinking about something that we're still mad about or thinking about or worried about something we got to do, or maybe nowhere, just vegging out, not aware of anything. If that app could find us, I would say twice a day, even once a day, like aware of the moment while we had it, it'd be good. At least a very good start. Personally, I know I have to remind myself. My brain typically goes 100 miles an hour. Often I'm thinking about that thing that just happened and maybe wishing I had said this, or I'm thinking about what I got next and how much I got to get done. And sadly then, when I do that, I miss the blessings of the ordinary moments while I have them. These moments that when death visits me, I would miss so greatly. And sadly, too many people when we get older think, where did the time go? I missed the moments while I had them. So how do we waken to the ordinary moments? I think the answer is this. The only way is practice, really, intentionality. For me, this might not work for you, but it's when I remind myself to step inside of myself a half of an inch and kind of watch myself watching, become aware that I'm there right now. Whenever I do that, no matter what I'm doing, I almost always get tears near the edge of my eyes because I don't name it as such, but my soul knows that I have come to touch what is timeless in time. And if you've ever heard me lead a prayer before an event, or at least often at meetings, you'll know that I typically begin with something like, let's just stop for a moment and become aware of this moment and what it holds. I'm inviting us to smell it, to see it, to hear it, to touch it, to be here in the moment. Many find it helpful to do 1, 2, 3. 1, one thing you smell. 2, two things you see. 3, three things you touch or feel. 1 thing you smell. 2 things you see. 3 things you touch or feel. And when you do that, right then you realize you are safe. And you're not alone. And you are awake. And you are alive then. So, brushing your teeth, untangling Christmas lights, putting a textbook into a backpack, stop and become aware of now. Now you can stop what you're doing or keep doing it, but stop inside and become aware. Here I am, untangling Christmas lights. You got food in the microwave, you're changing a diaper, you're hearing the blinker of your car. Wake up to the fact that you're alive then. You smell coffee somewhere, you're wrapping presents, putting on your socks. Become mindful of that moment. Whatever we choose to do or whatever we have to do, Advent invites us to be awake as we do it, so as not to miss the presence of God. So, I don't know which Advent this is for you. For some, it's your 17th, your 47th, or your 87th Advent. Whatever the number, it's time to wake up to this one, to the pain and the beauty of it all. So, what does this sound do for you? What does it stir in you? For some, it's just waiting for something to get over. For others, it's, oh no, it's going too quickly. There's just not enough time. But Advent invites us to learn to treasure this sound, because every second holds God.